Hi guys, good morning, and thank you for joining me for today's devotion for October 18th. It is titled When We Praise, and the Bible reading is from Acts chapter 16, verses 25 to 34. Around midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening. Suddenly there was a massive earthquake, and the prison was shaken to its foundations. All the doors immediately flew open, and the chains of every prisoner fell off. The jailer woke up to see the prison doors wide open. He assumed the prisoners had escaped, so he drew his sword to kill himself. But Paul shouted to him, "Stop! Don't kill yourself, we're all here!" The jailer called for lights and ran to the dungeon and fell down trembling before Paul and Silas. Then he brought them out and asked, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" They replied, "Believe in the Lord Jesus and you will be saved, along with everyone in your household." And they shared the word of the Lord with him and with all who lived in his household. Even at that hour of the night, the jailer cared for them and washed their wounds. Then he and everyone in his household were immediately baptized. He brought them into his house and set a meal before them, and he and his entire household rejoiced because they all believed in God. When 9-year-old Willie was abducted from his front yard in 2014, he sang his favorite gospel song, Every Praise, over and over again. During the 3-hour ordeal, Willie ignored the kidnappers' repeated orders to keep silent as they drove around. Eventually, the kidnapper let Willie out of the car unharmed. Later, Willie described the encounter, saying that while he felt his fear give way to faith, the abductor seemed agitated by the song. Willie's response to his dire situation is reminiscent of the experience shared by Paul and Silas. After being flogged and thrown into jail, they reacted by praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and all of the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. Upon witnessing this awesome demonstration of power, the jailer believed in the God of Paul and Silas, and his entire household was baptized along with him. Through the avenue of praise, both physical and spiritual chains were broken that night. We may not always experience a visibly dramatic rescue like Paul and Silas or like Willie, but we know that God responds to the praises of his people. When he moves, chains fall apart. What lessons do you learn from the prayer session held by Paul and Silas? How can you apply these principles to the difficult circumstances you experience? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.